Good morning. Welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping in. I really am happy to have you here. Yesterday, I made split pea soup, and I recorded it, but I missed the first beginning. I must have double pushed the button, and I didn't notice. So I didn't have my intro. Let's see our fire. It's cold here today. It's like white snowing here in Michigan. But anyway, I digress. I didn't get my intro done, so I thought I would just do an intro here today. Yesterday I woke up and it was cold and I was working from home. So I decided to make split pea soup. I have a ham bone from Christmas in the freezer. So I took that out and I had a package and a half of split peas, so like a pound and a half. And I decided to make split pea soup. I missed the very beginning, that intro, so I wanted to do this here now. Let's go make some split pea soup. So here's the finished product. Thought I would show you this. And it's such a simple process to make homemade soup. It just takes time. So here I have my split peas. And here's the broth. I have a ham bone in it. I have the celery leaves. I have a couple of bay leaves. I have some onion peels that I had saved in my freezer. And I'm going to add some garlic. Instead of fresh garlic, I'm using the refrigerated, and enough for 2 cloves of garlic and water. I did not add salt. I'll add that later. And I used a ham bone and 1 ham hock. And I'm going to let this just cook on medium-low and let it simmer and make a nice broth. And I can let this go while I'm working. And then after the broth is made, I will add everything to the soup. Now, if you don't want to make a homemade broth, you can use canned broth, boxed broth, home canned broth. I am home from my appointments. I took the meat out and all this other stuff needs to come out. I like putting fresh celery in, not the stuff that's cooked all day. Just my personal preference. All I put was like the ends of 1 onion that I had saved. Just, and my husband's like, it smells like onions. It's like, no, there's a lot of other stuff in it. And that looks like pretty much all the big stuff. Quite a bit of broth. And it has really good flavor. I don't think I need to supplement anything. If I get to this is quite a bit of broth, I might not need all this. If I get to my broth is done and I'm starting to add things, if it doesn't have enough flavor, I'll add a spoon of like chicken bouillon. So now I need to take all the meat off the bone. Here's some of the ham hock meat. Now this ham hock was not smoked, but the ham was. If I don't think there's enough smoky flavor, but it doesn't matter to me so much. But if you want a more smoky flavor, you can always add some smoked paprika. And we're going to add some other seasoning too. And I add potatoes, and I add carrots, usually a little bit of onion, a little bit of fresh celery, and the peas. And we like our peas cooked till they're quite soft. Some of them I mash so that the soup itself is thicker. Some people like it brothier. So never throw away your bone from a ham. You can use it for split pea soup, for bean soup, for mixed bean soup, for potato soup, for cabbage soup, for vegetable soup. There's so many ways of using it. So I'm going to keep cutting this meat up and putting it in this pan, and then I'm going to get the other vegetables and we'll get this finished up. Okay, let's start adding everything into our stock now. This is 1.5 pounds of split peas, and I have rinsed them and made sure there's no rocks or little stones in them. You don't find them often, but they can be in here. And you don't have to pre-soak these, not like navy beans and other dry beans. Split peas and lentils don't need to be pre-soaked. So these are going to go straight into the broth. They're sticking together from the water. I'm trying to avoid a big splash. I did take out some broth because it was going to be pretty full otherwise, so I can always add that in. And now going to add a couple of carrots, a couple of potatoes, I don't want these in big chunks, but I don't want them real minuscule diced either. I wanted to add some texture to the soup. I chopped up 1.5 potato and added it. They were pretty good sized potatoes, so I didn't want it to end up being potato soup. Now I'm going to dice up a couple of carrots. It adds a nice pop of color to the finished soup, plus its nice sweetness. Now we're going to add 1 small stalk of celery. It's not a real big one, but there's already celery flavor in the broth that is infused. So this will add some more celery flavor plus the texture. Now I'm going to add about 1/3 of an onion. It was a pretty large onion, so you could add a small onion or 1/2 of a medium onion. And I'm just going to dice it up small. This is what it looks like as we're going to get it cooking now. I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of thyme.
1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Teaspoon of garlic powder. And a teaspoon of salt. That didn't get cut through. We want to season the vegetables and peas that we added in. So I'm going to put the lid on and let this cook for an hour, hour and a half. I'll come back and check it in an hour. I have it on just under medium. This is after like an hour and a half. And the peas still have some shape to them, but if you can see now, the broth is the green color. And the peas are able to be mushed pretty much. So I'm going to turn this down to just low. We like it when it gets thick with the peas. This is about how we like it. Now by tomorrow it's thick and I'll have to add some more of that broth to it. But I just have to decide if we're going to do anything with this, some biscuits or anything, or just have the soup. Here is some soup. I usually taste it to see if I want to add anything. I like mine kind of peppery. You can put a dollop of sour cream on it. I don't usually. No. I don't like the meat so much in mine, so I'm going to put a couple pieces of meat back in the pan. Jim likes the meat. I like the vegetables. So split pea soup is our dinner tonight. And I am going to let it cook a little longer. The peas they have some bite to them. They're not hard at all. And we like them on the softer side, so it's just personal taste. But you can taste the garlic, the thyme. The flavors comes through real strong. And if you don't have a ham bone, don't worry. You can go buy box broth and make this soup very easily. It saves you some time. Because you don't have that first step, don't think you can't make the end product. There's a way around it. And the end result will still be good. That is good. When I tell my dad, he'll wish he was here. So, thank you for stopping by. If you like this video, if you push the like button, it helps me. And if you want to see more videos on canning and baking and cooking, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. Leave me a comment, and if you like split pea soup, I know a lot of people don't. If you've ever had split pea soup, and what you add to your split pea soup if you do make it. See you next time at Pike Creek Farm.